Good morning, dear students. Sahiba, Utkarsh, Tanvi. Good morning to all three of you. Namaskar. Good morning, Sahiba, Utkarsh, and Tanvi. Today, let me give you some tips about how to approach your reading comprehension skill, and then writing skill, grammar skill, literature, all this. Of course, grammar is not there. So, reading, writing, and literature. Okay, so good morning, Chaitanya, Harshit, Riya as well. So, dear students, please confirm me once if I am audible to you loud and clear. Please let me know if I am audible to you loud and clear, so that I can begin my lecture. Good morning, Shraddha, Mansi, Nidhi. Good morning, all of you. There's a problem might be with some net sometimes. Okay, so please do bear with me. I'm starting. So, dear students, whenever you shall why it's like that here. Okay, good morning, Pratik, Uday, Ashutosh, all of you. So, first of all, you shall attempt the reading skill, but dear students, reading skill this time won't be multiple choice. Okay, it is 1 mark. So please do bear because the pattern has changed now. Term 1 was all multiple choice questions, but term 2 is not multiple. Here you shall get 1 mark question, so you've got to write the answer of the reading skill, right? So how will you approach the reading skill? Instead of reading the whole paragraph, as I have been telling you for quite some time, what you do is you please study paragraph wise. You study paragraph 1 and see from question number 1 to question number last if there is any question given from paragraph 1. If any question is given from paragraph 1, please do mark it or answer it immediately, right? Do not waste your time reading the entire comprehension passage. Read the first paragraph and see how many questions are given from the paragraph 1. Then go to paragraph 2 and then you study from the question bank how many questions are given from paragraph 2, and then paragraph 3. So accordingly you please proceed, okay, because if you read the whole paragraph, whole passage, then it will you'll waste your time. So that is why please do approach the reading comprehension in terms of paragraphs. Okay, so first you study first paragraph, see the entire questions from question number 1 to the last if there is any question, then study paragraph number 2 and then see if there is any question from paragraph 2 given from the question bank, then proceed to paragraph 3. Likewise, paragraph wise you please answer the questions of reading comprehension. And as I told you, term 2 pattern has changed. You can also refer to the sample paper issued by board, but it's not required at this moment. According to the latest pattern, I have given you the questions, right? So reading comprehension, there is no MCQ this time, only 1 mark comprehension skill is there. So you need to write the answer for the entire all the questions. Understood? So please write your name, write the name of the question properly and then answer it on a A4 size paper, and then you convert into PDF, as you might be knowing how you convert the answer book into PDF, and then you upload on the Google Classroom. Okay, so Dear students, I told you how to approach, how to proceed with your reading comprehension skill. Next is your invitation, actually, right? So invitation, how to approach invitation. As I told you, there are three types of invitation. Like, one is formal type of invitation, drafting of a general invitation. Okay, so drafting of a general invitation is important. Then general means for drafting of a formal invitation, and next one will be drafting of an informal invitation, and then acceptance of the invitation. Suppose someone has given invitation to you, you need to draft the invitation. You need to respond, you need to answer. If someone has invited you, so you need to answer. So if you are attending the invitation, attending the party, in that case you have to write a letter of acceptance, invitation of acceptance. And if you are not able to attend the party or the program for, or the event for which you have been invited, you need to write a reply letter. So that is called rejection, letter of refusal, letter of refusal. So you need to study the draft of letter of refusal, letter of acceptance, and then one common draft for the formal invitation and one for the informal invitation, right? So that will be your 4 mark, I suppose. Okay, so let me here throw some light on this. So for this I will go to I'll just show you so that you don't find difficulty in writing invitation. Invitation is a bit difficult because you need to know the draft, right? So you need to have the knowledge of how to write the draft. So that is why I'm showing you. I showed you before also, and now also let me show you. Okay, so in the writing section of the website you shall find this particular section, that is invitation letter, right? So let me just quickly show you so that you are able to recollect it, because most of you might have already gone through this. So dear students, as you can see here, okay, this is the common formal letter. Okay, so this is the common formal letter, dear students. As you can see here, this is the common formal letter. Okay, so common formal letter, how to write? See, write a formal invitation for the marriage function of your daughter, formal invitation for marriage or special occasion. So see, Mrs. and Mr. Madan Sharma solicit your gracious presence. So this particular phrases you need to remember. Okay, solicit your gracious presence on the auspicious occasion of the marriage of their granddaughter Sonali, okay, with Sridhar on 17 December at 7:30 at red carpet party lawn, Preet Vihar, New Delhi. Okay, so you see here, first of all you make a box like this. You draw a box, and inside the box you start from the middle of the page. Okay, so Mrs. and Mr. Madan Sharma. So whoever will be writing the invitation, his or her name should come here. Okay, and for every new information, new line. Okay, but it should start from the middle of your thing. Always remember, your invitation draft should come from the should start from the middle page. Okay, should start from the middle of the page. So Mrs. and Mr. Madan Sharma solicit your gracious presence, and then you see every new information like whose marriage with whom. So new next lines. Okay, then where date is given, time is given. So date, time, and venue, different lines you shall write in this manner. Okay, and then towards the end on the left side you have to write RSVP. RSVP means you please respond, you please reply. If someone has extended formal or informal invitation, whatever, you are supposed to acknowledge it by giving reply, whether it is a letter of reply of acceptance or reply of refusal. So both you have to give. Either of these you have to give. Okay, if you are attending, you have to give letter of reply letter of acceptance. If you are not able to attend the event, then you have to write the letter of refusal, right? So RSVP you have to write on the left hand side, and then whoever is writing the invitation draft, he or she is her name has to be here. Okay, and this is another formal letter. You see, the principal, staff and students of Lakshmi Public School, Model Town, Delhi request the pleasure of your company on. So these phrases you need to learn by heart. Request the pleasure of, or solicit your gracious presence. So these things you need to learn by heart so that you can apply in your draft also. Okay, request the pleasure of your company on annual day celebration on Sunday 24th December at 5:30 in school auditorium. Okay, likewise, and left side RSVP you have to write, right? So here this is the formal acceptance. Okay, suppose you are attending the invitation event. In that case you have to write a formal letter of acceptance, right? So how to write formal letter of acceptance, dear students? You will write formal letter of acceptance in this manner. So see how it is written here. Say it is something like message. See here, you'll write the date, today's date, and then the place from where you are writing should come below the date, and then you write Mrs. and Mr. Ajay Gupta, thank Mrs. because Mrs. and Mr. Ajay Gupta will be the person who is writing actually, right? Suppose you are writing, so you'll write or it will be written here, you are Mr. Ajay Gupta, okay, draft a reply accepting here in an invitation to attend a housewarming party. So here Mrs. and Mr. Ajay Gupta will come here because it is you who is acknowledging the invitation, okay, extended to you by Mr. and Mrs. Satish Sharma, right? So Mrs. and Mr. Ajay Gupta thank Mrs. and Mr. Satish Sharma for their kind invitation on the housewarming party on 17 January 2019 at 11 am. Which they are delighted to accept. Which they are delighted to accept. It is their great pleasure to attend the ceremony. So this is the draft for the acceptance of the invitation, right? So this is the acceptance of the invitation. Now we will see one for the rejection. Okay, see, this is formal refusal. Mrs. and Mr. Ajay Gupta thank Mrs. and Mr. Satish Sharma. First of all, you have to thank the people who have attended you, invited you. So you've got to give them thanks here, okay, for their kind invitation on the housewarming party. But regret their inability to accept the same due to urgent and unavoidable assignment abroad. Okay, but see, they are politely regretting their inability, so that you have to write towards the end. But regret their inability to accept the same due to urgent and unavoidable assignment abroad. Another rejection is there. Many thanks for inviting me to preside over the inter-zonal declamation competition, but I am sorry to say that I shall not be able to attend the same due to a prior appointment with my doctor. Warm regards, yours sincerely. Okay, so like this, you can also write very in a very plain manner. But I am sorry to say that I shall not be able to attend the same due to a prior appointment with my doctor. Right. So likewise, also you can write the formal letter of refusal. Okay, dear student. But before that, you have to write your address, date. Okay. You can write either in this way in the letter format, or you can write in this manner also. Okay, so this manner is easy. See here, just write the date here and the place from where you are writing, and then straight away you start. That will be easier for you. Okay, that is a bit letter type, so you avoid this, you write in this manner. So dear students, you might have seen you have to study three types of draft. Number one is just a formal invitation. Okay, formal invitation and informal invitation draft you have to study, and second type is refusal, and third type is acceptance. Okay, so three type, basically you have to study three types of draft from invitation. Okay, so let me see one thing. This is formal invitation, right? This is all formal invitation. Okay, this is all formal invitation. Now you see in informal invitation. So how to write informal invitation? You see here, See, informal invitation. You are Anuj Goel. Write an invitation to invite all your friends for the party you are giving to celebrate your selection, right? So here address is given, date is given. My dear Rahul, I have immense pleasure in inviting you to, like, informal invitation draft is something like letter only, okay, something like what you write letter. Only formal letter of invitation is somewhat difficult, so you practice that, because you see informal is very simple, it's like letter only. First you give your place from where you are writing, then your date, and then person you are writing, you address like a letter. My dear Rahul, I have immense pleasure in inviting you to post selection party after my admission. Request you to visit my residence at 7:30 16th Jan to join my family and friends in my euphoric moment. Okay, and this is acceptance. Dear Anuj, many thanks for inviting me to attend your post. Okay, first of all you have to thank the person who has invited you, so start with that. Many thanks for inviting me to attend your post selection party, which will be held on 16 May 2019 at your home, right? I shall be highly delighted to attend the same and will enjoy the party with great fun. Okay, then your name and your this is complimentary close, yours truly, and then Rahul Gupta, your name should be there. And this is refusal. Date, place from where you are writing, date and salutation. Many thanks for inviting me to attend your post-selection party, but I am sorry to say that I shall not be able to attend the same, as I shall be out of station next week. I shall miss this joyous occasion. I wish you all the best for the future. God bless you. Yours truly, Rahul. Understood? So this is how you have to write the formal and informal letter of acceptance, refusal, and the general draft for the invitation. Okay, now next is your report writing. Okay, so next is your report writing. So how to write report writing? First of all, you have to give a title to your report, right? First of all, you give a title to your report, and if it is a report for the newspaper, then next line you write, say January 22, 2000, like say from Patna you are writing the report. So write Patna, January 22 to 2022. If it is a report for the newspaper, but if it is not a report for the newspaper, it's a report for the school magazine, no need to write this date and place. Straight away you write the title, by you write XYZ, or if your name is given, like someone your name is given in the question, then you write your name, by your name, otherwise by XYZ, then straight away start with the paragraphs. Okay, so in report writing you have to give a title, you have to give the give a by part, because the person who is writing should be, his name should be there. If it is not there, write XYZ, and then paragraph wise you start. First you report about the incidents and then your point of view. Okay, so that is report writing, very simple. So your writing skill will consist of two questions. One is invitation, and in all probability it will be a formal invitation, and the general draft of the formal invitation. Okay, but you see all the three drafts, but formal invitation, general draft is important. Acceptance you see once, refusal also you see once, but formal invitation will come anyway. And then second will be the report writing. Second topic from your writing skill will be your report writing. Okay, so I told you how to go ahead with the report. Okay, report writing is something like it, you have to report to, about the incidents, about a particular incident that has taken place. So you have to invent the event. Actually you have to write from your own, from your mind. Okay, you have to be a bit creative to generate a report about any fire incidents, or maybe any kind of cricket match or whatever. Okay, so that you have to design a plot in your mind, and you should write in the description of an event. Okay, that I hope you'll be able to do it well. Okay, next is your literature. So dear students, as I told you, the literature, let us first here I have uploaded Should Wizard Hit Mommy. I have uploaded, so that you should please go through. So I have uploaded some of the important uh, questions and answers. So you please go through. Okay. So see, it is available here. It is available here. First of all, here, who is Joe? How does she respond to her father's storytelling? Okay, so who is Joe? You have to write Joe is a 4-year-old daughter of Jack. Every evening and for Saturday naps, Jack Jack used to narrate his daughter a self-composed story. self self-composed story, which is Gurudev, which is a slight variation of the original story. Joe is captivated by each story her father used to narrate to her. She became so involved with the stories that she kept on asking a host of questions to her father and could even predict the development in the tale. Okay, so it is a two-part question. Who is Joe? So you'll write Joe is a 4-year-old daughter of Jack. How does she respond to her father's storytelling? You'll write every evening and for Saturday naps, Jack used to narrate his daughter a self-composed story, which is a slight variation of the original story. Joe is captivated by each story her father used to narrate to her. She became so involved with the stories that she kept on asking a host of questions to her father and could even predict the development in the tale. Next, what do you think was Joe's problem? Joe was mainly concerned that Roger's skunk should be accepted by other animals. Okay, because Joe is a small girl, 4-year-old girl, so she would want that Roger skunk should play with other animals. So uh, if that is to happen, if her smell is changed and people come and she get many friends, in that case there is no harm in changing the color of the smell of the animal. That is why Joe was mainly concerned that Roger's skunk should be accepted by other animals. She was disappointed that the mother had not understood skunk's misery, so she wanted the wizard to teach his mother a lesson. She wanted her father to change the story to suit her taste. Okay, so um, we'll study that later on. What is the moral issue that the story raises? The issue that the story raises is whether children should be allowed to use their abilities to reason and to question, or be forced to remain mere shadow of adult influence and thought. Okay. Now the question is that whether children should be given allowed their independent thought to work, or they would just remain a mere shadow of adult influence and thought. Joe disagreed and questioned her father's interpretation of how the story of the stinky skunk should end. In fact, Jack had failed to appreciate the fact that Joe was growing up and was likely to have an independent thought of her own. Right? So Jack did not encourage the independent thought uh, that was growing in the mind of Joe. Okay, he wanted that his daughter should form similar opinion as his. Okay, therefore Jack was very much traditional in his perception of his daughter's upbringing. Right. Jack found it very difficult to come to terms with the fact that his daughter could disagree with him in the ending of the story. Okay, so what is the moral that the story raises? The moral that the story raises, whether children should be allowed to use their abilities to reason and to question, or be forced to remain mere shadow of adult influence and thought. Next is, how does Joe want the story to end and why? Joe wants the wizard to hit Mummy in revenge, uh, as she had hit the wizard. According to Joe, if Skunk's mother insisted on changing his smell, then other animals would turn away from him. This is why Joe wanted the story to end and wanted that Skunk should have the smell of roses so that other animals play with him. Right? So, okay. Now, dear students, you see,
Now, you see, why does Jack insist that it was the wizard that was hit and not the mother? Jack wanted Joe to understand the fact that Skunk's mother knew what was best for him. Joe's questioning about the ending of the story sounded like an act of defiance to Jack. Jack thought that his daughter has disobeyed him, defied him. Okay, so by questioning about the ending of the story. So this is what he did not want. He did not want his children to be argumentative in nature. Okay, and while narrating the story about the poor stinky skunk to Joe, Jack was reminded of all the humiliations of his own childhood. Jack wants his daughter to be raised the way he was raised by the strict discipline of his own mother. That is why Jack was reminded of all the humiliations of his own childhood. Jack's support of Skunk's mother is in actual term a defense of his own mother who brought him up in the most authoritative manner. So, as Jack was very much obedient to his mother, therefore Jack supported Skunk's mother as well, because he was the opinion that mothers can never be wrong, okay, towards their kids. Therefore, Jack wanted his daughter to understand the fact that mothers are always right, and therefore whatever Skunk's mother did to the extent of hitting the wizard on the head with an umbrella is absolutely justified, right? Because according to Jack, mothers can never be wrong, because he himself was very much obedient to his mom, and his mom was very much assertive on him, right? So that is the same principle he wanted his daughter to grow up with. Okay, what makes Jack feel caught in an ugly middle? This is an important question, dear students. What makes Jack feel caught in an ugly middle position? So Joe's defiance of the ending of her father's story about Roger Skunk took him by surprise, and he thought that Joe is questioning his authority. This gave rise to confusion in Jack's mind, and he was at a loss to understand how to react to his little daughter who suddenly started asserting her opinions. Moreover, Jack was also not able to help his wife Claire with the painting work as he stuck with his daughter. Thus, Jack felt himself caught in an ugly middle position. So, dear students, here this question is also very important. What makes Jack feel caught in an ugly middle position? So, you have to write Joe's defiance of the ending of her father's story. Okay. So, Joe's defiance of the ending of her father's story about Roger's son. Okay. Okay. So, Jack is already disturbed because his daughter has defied him. Okay. In believing the story, the ending of the story, right? So Joe's defiance of the ending of the story already took took Jack by surprise, and that gave rise to confusion in his mind, right? He was at a loss to understand how to convince his daughter, because she is growing up and she no longer she started asserting her own behavior, okay, opinions. Moreover, his wife is pregnant and he was not able to help her with the painting work. So this is how Jack thought that he was caught in an ugly middle position. Neither he was able to cater to the expectation of his daughter nor to his wife. Therefore, Jack feels himself caught in an ugly middle position. Very important question, this one as well. What makes Jack feel caught in an ugly middle position? Then, how did the wizard help the skunk? The wizard searched for his magic wand and asked Roger Skunk what he wanted to smell like. Roger replied that he wished to smell like roses. As the wizard changed his smell, he was pleased with his transformation and was happy to have friends around him with whom he could play. That is important. Easy question. What had upset Joe about the skunk story? How did Jack react to it? Okay. Roger Skunk's mother thought that Roger should smell like a little skunk and not like roses. She took Roger Skunk back to the wizard and hit him right over his head with an umbrella and made him change Roger back. Made him change Roger back. This upset Joe as she wanted the wizard to hit Mummy back and refused to change Roger back. Joe's reaction angered Jack as he tried to make her see how Roger Skunk's mother knew what was best for Roger. Okay, so Jack wanted his daughter to know that, to learn that Roger Skunk's mother knew what was best for Roger. Therefore, mothers cannot be wrong. This particular education is something that Jack wanted Joe to learn, but unfortunately Joe was not in a position to accept that. Right? Next, you see, what story did Joe want to hear the next day? Why? What was the father's reaction? Joe pleaded with Jack to continue with the same story the next day, where the wizard hit Roger's mummy back with the magic wand. Being a child, she looked forward to a happy ending. But Jack declined to have such an ending, as he wanted the little skunk to listen to what his mummy thought was best for him. He reasoned with Joe that Roger loved his mother more than all other little animals, and she knew what was right for him. Understood? So that particular realization, uh, Jack was interested to tell his daughter, but Joe was not in a position to accept that. But Jack's point of view was Roger Skunk loved his mother more than any animals, and Roger Skunk's mother knew what was right for him. That particular thought, that particular fact was something that Jack wanted to teach his daughter, because Jack himself was raised by his mother in a very strict and disciplined manner, so he was very obedient to his mother. Therefore, Jack also wanted Joe to be obedient to her father, okay, and wanted to give the thought, or give the idea, or give the value to his daughter that mothers can never be wrong, they are always correct. So, dear students, as you can see, we have revised some of the important questions from Should Wizard Hit Mommy? Okay. Now let me tell you what kind of questions will be there from literature, so that you have an idea. Like, see, there will be first of all, there will be 3 chapters. No, you might be knowing. Number one is a thing of beauty. Okay, so from a theme of beauty poem, I have given you 2 or 3 questions plus an extract. Extract will consist of 4 marks. Okay, so I have given 4 marks from the extract from a theme of beauty, and 2 to 3 2-mark questions I have given. And next is your what is that next? The rat trap. From the rat trap, I have given you another 2-3 questions, right? So I have given you 2 questions from rat trap, 2 questions from a thing of beauty, and 1 extract questions, right? So likewise, I have given you from flamingo, and from vistas I have given you 4 to 5 questions from Should Wizard Hit Mommy, and we have discussed some of the questions today. You please revise these questions once again, and that's it. So you shall have around 4 questions of 2 marks from flamingo, and 3 questions of 2 marks from vistas, and 1 extract question from a theme of beauty consisting of 4 marks. Okay, so literature section will consist of, I think, around 16 marks, and rest is report writing, then invitation writing, and then 1 10-mark reading comprehension, right? So that is the entire structure of the syllabus. So now if you have any question to ask me, please you can ask me. Dear students, if you have any question, you please text me your question. I am waiting for your question. If you have any doubt regarding today's test, you please let me know so that I can answer your questions. Otherwise, from my end, is the extract subjective or MCQ? Tanvi, no, extract is not MCQ based. It's just objective type, 1 mark question. Okay, objective type, not MCQ type. Right. So you'll have 4 questions of 1 mark each. Tanvi. Okay. There is no multiple choice question this time. All are like from reading comprehension objective type questions, 1 mark 10 questions, and from extract also 1 mark 4 questions. There is no multiple choice question this time. Okay, so because term 2 they have written, term 2 they have made it subjective actually. So in the subjective paper there will be some objective questions like reading skill will be there, extract questions will be there, but not multiple choice questions. Okay, is there any other question, dear students, you got to ask me? You can ask me now. And those who have joined late, let me tell you, like reading comprehension, please do not waste your time by reading the entire passage together. Read paragraph wise, read paragraph 1, see from the question bank if there is any question given from paragraph 1. If it is given, please answer immediately. Okay, suppose question number 3 is given from paragraph 1. So answer question number 3. Right, leave space for question number 1 and 2, but answer question number 3 as well. Then proceed to question number paragraph number 2. Then read the paragraph number 2 and then see from the question bank any question from paragraph 2 is given. If it is given, answer it and then go to paragraph 3. Likewise, you please study. Then hopefully you shall be able to complete the paper on time. Okay. Otherwise, what happens, like students tend to waste a lot of time after reading skill. So max to max, you give 20 minutes for reading skill. Okay, not more than that, right? So dear students, if you have any question, please do ask me. Otherwise, I shall wind up now. Do you have any other question? Kailani, Chaitanya, Pravas, Gunesh, Mona. If you have any question, please do ask me now. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask me. And as I told you, reading skill will comprise of 10 marks, writing skill will comprise of invitation 4 marks, and report writing 6 marks to another 10, 20. And remaining 20 marks, 4 marks will be extract and 16 marks will be from Flamingo and Vista. From Flamingo, as I told you, 5 questions, I think 5 questions of 2 marks is 10, and 4 questions of 2 marks from Vista is 8. So no, I think 8 questions, 4 questions of 2 marks from Flamingo, there is 8. And 3 questions of 2 marks from Vista, there is 6, 8, 6, 14, 18, something like that. Okay, I think 4 each will be there from Flamingo and Vista. Then 16 plus 4 is extract, so it's all 20 mark from literature. So dear students, shall I wind up now then? I hope you have no query. So please write the question number properly, okay, and write neatly, okay, because this is subjective type paper. So if you write neatly, it will be easier for us to evaluate also, okay. And while taking the photograph for the PDF, please make sure that your photograph is distinct enough, clear enough, okay, and do not leave out any writing part, okay. While taking the photograph of your answer book, please be careful and do not apply flash, okay, because if you apply flash, there might be some mark of flash there on the image itself. So therefore do not apply, turn off your flash and then go below the adequate light, and then you please take the photograph and then convert all your pages into PDF from the Lens app, okay, Microsoft Lens app. I hope you shall be able to do it properly. Thank you and wishing you all the very best for today's exam. Bye bye, take care and have a great day.